It's election day. Get out and vote. It's your only opportunity to go out and try to make a decision, and then sit back and complain about it later.
Unless you voted absentee or at the Board of Elections ahead of time.
Which I have found that is far more convenient. I know Aaron and I touched on this yesterday, but there's just something about early voting, being able to go into the poll and still kind of do Missy does the absentee ballot now, so she doesn't have to go anywhere. But, it's unique, and I enjoy it.
The day that I went was the first day that in-person advanced voting was available this year, and it was really, I didn't have to stand in line a long time, but there were a lot of people in there, and I said, is this typical? And she said, for the first day, yes. Yeah. And then as it gets closer to the election, it'll start building back up. At least she said for presidential election.
And when I went into the Pike County Board of Elections, I asked him, and this was I think it was October 9th when I went in, and I said, have you been busy today? And she said, oh, yes, we've been very busy. Yeah. So incredible. A lot of people are taking advantage of that. So then, again, there might be folks waiting till now to vote, like Mr. Hand 2, our Aaron Glandon. You say you're going off to vote as soon as this program is done.
Yes.
Okay.
And you know the precinct you're supposed to show up at.
Yes.
We don't want you getting thrown out as...
Yeah, because you moved.
Right, but I moved after the registration deadline, so I need to go to OUC to vote.
Where you were supposed to.
Gotcha. Okay. Very nice. See, we've got all the bases covered as best we can. And we'll see if my dead uncle places his vote this year, too. So, at any rate, welcome to the program. Thank you for joining us. I'm Dan Ramey. He's Mike Smith, Mr. Hand 2, Aaron Glandon off to our side. And let's start with a look at our forecast for this day. It's a beautiful day on tap.
They always talk about how weather can affect a voter turnout on Election Day. Well, it's a beautiful day in Ohio. If you're watching us from Florida or someplace else, hopefully the weather is good for you too.
But they're probably saying it's too good of a day to go out and vote. Yeah. I'm going to do something else.
Although there's another hurricane coming.
Yes, sir.
And they said the Florida Keys might see some of that. But sunny and warmer for us in central and southern Ohio today, a high of about 78. But rain is in the forecast for Wednesday and Thursday with highs of 70 and even cooler on Friday, Saturday. I think daytime high is going to be back in the mid-60s.
News is on the way, and if you're still not falling back, you may have missed this scheduled program at 11 o'clock every day. So make sure that you have those clocks all fixed. I finally set one of the last clock in the house this morning. So gotcha. I usually go around and I do all that, but like the iPhone and my TV and my computer, it all does it on its own anymore. You don't have to worry about it.
Exactly.
Unless you're old-fashioned, turning the calendar, flashing that clock back. Yeah. Haynes Total Health Care Center. They are the ones who can help straighten you up. Chiropractic, physical therapy, and nutritional needs. Click on this ad anywhere you see it on our website, littermedia.com. It takes you to hayneshealth.com for more details. Each week, we'll announce the Neil Coleman Insurance Wyandotte Mutual Litter Media Player of the Week, presented by Homeland Credit Union. And in December, we'll announce the Player of the Year. Nominate any amateur athlete by visiting littermedia.com and click on Player of the Week. You'll also see the players we've named throughout the year. Make your nomination today for the Neil Coleman Insurance Wyandotte Mutual Litter Media Player of the Week, presented by Homeland Credit Union.
Whenever I first applied for the Archways opportunity, do I have to pay this back? Do I have to do that? Is it a loan? And it's not. It's a scholarship. A goal of mine is to graduate college debt-free. If you're a crew member, you get $2,500 a year, and if you're a manager, you get $3,000. And especially if you're going locally to college, to the branch or something like that, it's really helpful.
Discover Ross County. From the breathtaking outdoor adventures to the historic sights of Chillicothe and family-friendly events and festivals,
Explore more at visitchillicotheohio.com or download the free mobile app today.
If you go to our website, littermedia.com, you can follow along with some of the things we're going to talk about today. And that includes all of our social media stuff, too. It's up in the right-hand corner of the website. So go to littermedia.com to follow along. And that's also where you can listen to Litter Media Radio Live.
As Dan already told you, America goes to the election polls today to select a new president. Polls are already open. They will be in Ohio till 7:30 tonight. Other significant races include United States Senate for Ohio, Congress, and a state candidate and issues, as well as the local candidate and issue items to consider. So if you haven't already voted, just be prepared. The ballots that I have voted on here in Ohio, if you know ahead of time what you're looking for, 5 or 10 minutes. Yeah. But they were saying in some of these other states, the ballots are so long, it was literally taking people 25 to 30 minutes
to read through everything.
So you shouldn't be surprised when you got all these big lines.
And that's why you try to educate yourself before you get there. Yeah. And I know my wife was confused on one of the issues and everything. So I said, honey, we got to do the homework on this. So we did our homework, and I think she still was confused on how she voted. So that's how it goes.
Was it like that one commercial, honey? Did you vote the right way? That was almost comical. Yeah.
We didn't have that conversation. Yeah. The rock concert and auction Rock for Tots is just a month away, December 6th. It's coming up soon. And organizer Paul Pollard joined us earlier this morning. The monies raised from the event go to 35 children's charities and also fund scholarships and an endowment fund.
We've been really blessed, and the shows.
You're trying to beat what you did last year.
Yeah, and the shows, and we did that every year until COVID, and then COVID we had to do the online show. Mm-hmm. So we continued to do these, and now it's coming back. Last year it came back in full strength. So hoping we 60,000 maybe something like that. We hope to raise this year.
Rock for Tots has raised nearly $2 million over its 40-year run. Tickets are $10, and the show will be at the Majestic Theater Friday, December 6th. The Mods happen to be celebrating their 60th anniversary this year. They'll be performing a special, and some familiar local bands such as Good and Stout, The Basement Collective, Hybrid Nation, Echoes of Appalachia, along with Sugarloaf Shakedown and Too Smart to Crawl, which is a new band together, and the original band Rock Candy that performed Rock for Tots 40 years ago, getting back together for this show. Should be a lot of fun.
It was 60 years for the Mods. They must have been teens.
Yes.
When they first started out.
Those teenage garage bands of the 60s.
How about that? Ohio University has recognized Adena Regional Medical Center with an Outstanding Community Partner Award at their third annual Community Engagement Symposium on October 25th. That was at the Ohio University Inn down in Athens. There's Dr. Gabus on the far left, Dean Milliken on the lady to the
in the middle,
next to the one on the far right. Actually, the nomination I think came through Ohio University Chillicothe, but this is a whole Ohio University presentation. So congratulations to Adena Regional Medical Center.
Very nice. Several weeks ago, we told you about the Ohio Department of Health grant through the Highland County Health Department that would put sanitary water filling stations in locations around their county. Approximately a dozen agencies and government offices have now been awarded a free water bottle refilling station. You can find out what Highland County agencies received them in our website story at littermedia.com.
I think most people have seen these in gymnasiums, and it's not only a more sanitary way of refilling like a water bottle or a glass, but it doesn't waste water, because when you hold the bottle or your glass up, it's all done by sensor. So when you move the glass away, the water stops flowing. You're just not wasting water. So,
and it's not like going up to a water fountain that we had in school,
right?
And you always stood in line to get a drink, and there was always that one kid that put their lips all over the water fountain.
All over it. Yeah, no wonder. Well, we probably build up immunities that the kids today don't. Yeah, because Johnny Brown was doing all that. For anyone interested in helping sponsor a child for Christmas, please consider helping the Chillicothe JC's Special Santa Program. Special Santa is a long-standing project that assists families in providing a brighter Christmas for kids in Ross County. Applications are accepted for any child between the ages of 2 to 10 years old. You take an ornament. Each ornament represents one child, and the ornament will provide the child's first name, their age, gender, and a few gift items. Then you drop that off, the donated gift that is, to Globe Furniture by December the 2nd. And the good news for me, I don't have to wrap it. They'll take care of that. So get those gifts in there. Little history lesson. Special Santa was started by WBEX Radio.
Is that right?
And then over the years, we had people that were involved in the JCs, and because of manpower issues at the station, the JCs were good enough to step in, and they've had it ever since. So thumbs up to those folks that are keeping it going.
Yes. Waverly High School Marching Tigers will be in concert at 7 p.m. this Thursday night in the Waverly High School Auditorium, playing some of the tunes from this fall's halftime performances, including music from Coldplay, Can't Take My Eyes Off of You, Long Train Running, and one of my favorites, they always play this, Fat Bottom Girls from Queen. Tickets are $3 for adults, $2 for students, and that's this Thursday night.
Now, do all area high school bands do this?
I don't think all of them do. I know Chillicothe does, and they call it their last blast.
I've heard that term, yeah.
Waverly finds themselves doing this one as well, and we've got some really good bands in the area, and it's one last shot to do a marching band type performance in a concert setting. The Ohio State University Marching Band has done that before as well. So
very good. Step into the magic of the season with the Washington Courthouse Christmas Tour of Homes. From twinkling lights to cozy holiday decor, this is an event you won't want to miss. Now, the VIP tour is November the 30th from 3 to 9 p.m. Then a general public tour will be December the 1st from 1 to 4 p.m. You can get your tickets now at Eventbrite, then look for the specific event, the Washington Courthouse Christmas Tour of Homes. Proceeds benefit Second Chance Center of Hope and McNair's Men's Mission.
The Zane Trace FFA chapter will be hosting the second annual Ag Professionals and Life Skills Day. It's coming up on Tuesday, November 19th at Calvary Lutheran Church here in Chillicothe. Students from the 5 Ross County Ag programs will participate in luncheons to practice their table etiquette and conversation skills. During the luncheon, guests will dine at tables with students to encourage their interaction with leaders in the community. This is something that we were at last year, and you're seeing some of the file footage there, and there's the lovely Jennifer Johnston to help us out.
She's a sweetie.
And look at that guy. Remember him, don't you?
Headed back to me, I didn't see. When I looked up, it was too late.
Superintendent to the Pickaway Ross Career Technology Center.
Was this at Calvary
Yes.
Lutheran last year? That's where it's going to be again this year. Dan's going to help me with this one, with the pronunciation. Mark your calendars for the Ross County Heritage Center's Christmas Open House from 1 to 4 p.m. on December the 14th. Now, it's free admission to the public as you're invited to experience their Victorian parlor, decked out with Christmas decorations, holiday music, and
the Sharon Schnitty tree.
Now you know why I wanted to stay away from that.
Sharon Schnitty, from what I'm told, is the paper ornaments that they cut and clip and everything. They are very intricately made. And this tree is adorned with all of these paper ornaments. And Sharon Schnitty is a particular art form of how they cut those things.
I'm assuming that's German.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Very good.
Thank you to Tom Kuhn for filling me in on all that, because on the radio one day when he said Sharon Schnitty, and this is the first time I'd ever heard the word, I'm like, what'd you say?
What'd you say?
Because I'm like, I got to protect the FCC license here.
Yeah. So those are your show topics for today.
All right. Sports on the way in just a moment. But first, let's tell you about Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, your trusted comfort advisor. They're going to be in studio with us this Thursday, and they'll be talking about preparing for winter, making sure your furnace is ready to go. If you want to find out more about what Accurate does, click on this ad anywhere you see it at littermedia.com, and it takes you to their website, accuratehvac.com.
This is Andy Tomlinson. When ensuring what's important to you, our agents are there when you need us the most. Tomlinson Insurance, for the best coverage at the best cost. Visit us online at tomlinsonins.com to learn more.
Find a career you love with Pickaway Ross Adult Education. Skilled trades careers are in high demand with no signs of slowing down. Pickaway Ross offers career training programs with expert instructors and hands-on learning tactics to create a variety of opportunities. Visit our website for more information.
For transportation options in Ross County, call Ross County Health District's Mobility Management Team, 740-779-9652. If you're doing some remodeling for Christmas, holidays, maybe even Thanksgiving, trying to get it done, you need a dumpster. Or maybe if you're cleaning out an old house or something, you need a dumpster. Or maybe you just need a dumpster on a regular basis. They can help you. Scioto Valley Dumpsters, 740-253-8389. When you click on this ad at LitterMedia.com, it takes you to their Facebook page for Scioto Valley Dumpsters.
Sports.
Yes, sir.
All over the state of Ohio, probably started last week. There are school communities that are showing their spirit of teams that are still vying for a state championship. Well, this is what we found out at Frankfort. I had to scale back because the sign went so long. As Final Four spirit in Frankfort for Thursday's Division V volleyball state semi between Adena and two-time defending state champ and top-ranked Mentor Lake Catholic. That's at the Wright State University Nutter Center at 6 o'clock Thursday. If you can't make it to the match, you can hear it right here on Litter Media Radio. Now, the match is supposed to start at 6, which would put our airtime at about 5:50. However, there are 3 semifinal matches ahead of it, noon, 2, and 4. So there's always that chance that it could be running a little bit late.
Can we see that sign again with the cups and everything? Very nicely done, the Buckeye State.
Yeah.
Whoever put that together did a great. I wonder how long it took them to say, okay, we need this many cups. Nope, take that one out because then we can't,
I wonder if they had some kind of a, like with drawing, sometimes you have like something you put out over it and then you just have to fill it in.
Yeah. I mean, these are probably styrofoam cups, I would imagine.
Yeah, I think so.
But a nice job there. Way to go, Lady Warriors. Girls State Soccer semifinals open up tonight with Minford playing Cincinnati Madeira. That'll be at Centerville Alumni Stadium. Kickoff, or first kick, is 7 p.m. Minford boys, meanwhile, face Kidron Central Christian. That'll be at Big Walnut High School tomorrow night. So if you are in Minford, where football usually is king, man, basketball or soccer for both boys and girls, this is something to have both your teams playing at this level. So congratulations.
I think Aaron alluded to it yesterday on the show. It was ironic that in their regional final, the Minford boys and girls played the boys and girls of Grandview Heights, and they both won by the same score. Yeah. What are the odds of that happening? So congratulations to them. You might have missed this one last night because it was a late one. They started at about 10 p.m. out in Las Vegas, but the Ohio State men's basketball team opened their regular season with an upset of number 19 Texas, 80-72. I tuned it in at halftime. They were up by 7, but they had been up by 14. And if I heard this stat correctly, Ohio State had made only one 2-point field goal in the first half. They were lighting it up for 3. Now, if you watch the NBA Finals last year, that was what the Boston Celtics were doing. So it's like the 3-point game is everything for a lot of these teams now. I think the women open their season against Cleveland State tonight.
And the Milwaukee Bucks were not doing that last night with the Cleveland Cavaliers. They are 1-6.
Yeah.
Cavaliers, the only undefeated team left in the NBA, standing at 8-0 with a 116-114 win. This went down to the wire. Cavs had a big lead, then they fell behind. And it looked like Milwaukee was going to pick up win number 2 in the season, but then the Cavs retook the lead, and they played very well down the stretch and came away with the win.
I think Milwaukee won that division last year, if I'm not mistaken, in the regular season.
I think you're right. Yeah.
But I don't know if they lost a lot of Popovich, San Antonio. I saw he had some kind of a health issue, and he will be out indefinite. They didn't describe what it was or how long he'd be out. So our prayers with that older coach, but he has had tremendous success over the years out in San Antonio.
I spent time with the Buccaneers and the Chiefs last night.
I didn't.
And I thought for sure, well, the Chiefs are going to run away with this, but what the heck, I'm going to watch it anyway. And I was watching the Manning cast, which is absolute fun for me. But to hear two quarterbacks talk about how they would be manning the play or managing the last moments of a football game, Baker Mayfield was spectacular in bringing the Bucs back and tying the game going into regulation. His only faux pas, he went with the tails never fails on the coin flip in the overtime. That put the ball squarely into Kansas City's hands, and you could tell that he knew he wasn't going to get it back because he's wearing the ball cap the whole time instead of his helmet. So, but Kansas City, man.
Was that a mistake, the Browns getting rid of him? At the time, it looked like it was all Baker. That was the reason why they couldn't do anything.
Well, they were preparing for a contract extension possibility for him, and it was a moment where they thought, okay, maybe this Watson kid, I know, when you think about it now,
yeah.
Baker's been injured. He's played hurt. He should have just gone ahead and sat out, let him take care of him, but he was in that I'm negotiating for a contract for the next time around, and they just saw it was a business opportunity to make a change. And who would have thought it would turn out the way it has turned out? But I the respect that Baker gets when you watch them meeting after a game, the players go up and they shake hands, they give hugs and everything. I mean, he was being hugged by everybody.
Yeah.
And even the defensive coordinator for the Chiefs, I can't remember his name off the Spagnuolo, I think. They had a long conversation with smiles on their face, and Spagnuolo was probably along the lines of, it's a good thing you didn't get that ball back because we would have lost. So, yeah. All right, this date in history.
We're going to stay on a boxing theme for a second day in a row. All that's coming up. Litter Quality Propane. No bill when there's a fill. Contact Litter Quality Propane today about their metered gas service at litterpropane.com.
Are you looking for a beer that satisfies your thirst and love of country? Armed Forces Brewing Company brews beer for patriots. Celebrate freedom with every sip. Armed Forces Brewing Company. Freedom never tasted so good.
Now that's one fast mower. Take command of your lawn with Dixie Chopper, the world's fastest lawnmower.
Wherever you are, you're there for a reason. You shouldn't have to make a trip to the branch just to deposit a check. Skip the trip and use our mobile app to easily and securely deposit checks from your phone. Day or night, wherever you are, or whatever you're doing, download the Kingston National Bank Mobility app today.
As a basketball coach and a dad, I need to be able to keep up.
Mark came to the Adena Orthopedic and Spine Institute in severe arm pain from a degenerative disc.
I was so confident in Dr. Fleming, he explained everything.
Together, they decided on minimally invasive spinal surgery to relieve Mark's pain and get him back to what matters most. At Adena, we do what we love, so you can too.
Time for this date in history, 1994.
Staying with the boxing theme. Yesterday it was California legalizes boxing, right?
It was, and that's when they boxed with their thumbs out.
Yeah. And today, 1994, 45-year-old George Foreman becomes boxing's oldest heavyweight champion when he defeats 26-year-old Michael Moore in the 10th round of their WBA fight in Las Vegas. More than 12,000 spectators at the MGM Grand Hotel watched Foreman dethrone Moore, who went into the fight with a 35-0 record. Foreman dedicated his upset win to, quote, all my buddies in the nursing home and all the guys in jail, unquote. Now, George Foreman, who was obviously pretty famous as a heavyweight fighter, may be just as equally
probably
famous
more famous
well, for people that don't follow the fight game, you're probably right, for the George Foreman grill.
Which also was invented in 1994.
How about that? Have you got one?
You already had, I've had two.
They're great. I mean, they work great.
Absolutely. He also has 5 sons, all of them named George. You had George Jr., George III, also known as Monk. He had a professional boxing career. I didn't know this, from 2009 to 2012. George IV, also known as Big Wheel. George V, also known as Red. And George VI, also known as Little Joey.
How does that make any sense? Why don't you just name him what you're going to call him?
They did.
But I would say if that grill came out the same year that he became the oldest heavyweight champ, he probably thought, I've got to get another career going here because this one's about over.
Got to strike while the George Foreman grill is hot.
Wow. George Foreman, 45 years old and a heavyweight champ. I suppose that's still the record.
Probably.
Now, did I see that Mike Tyson is going to be fighting someone coming up here?
I heard that he has been training.
He's fighting Jake Paul, I think.
Oh, yeah.
And Mike's got to be
sensation.
probably in his 50s, doesn't he?
Right.
Yeah. Okay. See how that maybe he can.
I hope he knocks out Jake Paul.
Maybe he. Now, is this guy a champion?
I don't know that it's for a title, is it?
No, he's just a.
He needs to be punched. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. He's one of those internet celebrities, but he's just a jerk.
Okay. Yeah. Wasn't there a Rocky movie? I mean, like Rocky 8 or something, where he comes out of.
There's only 6 Rocky movies.
Yeah.
But that happens in Rocky Balboa, which is the 6th one.
We went to that was surprisingly a good movie. When we went to see it, I thought this is really good. Because usually part 7 or 8. It's,
right.
Is that the one that Adrian? She's already passed away.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Rocky 5 is the only not good Rocky movie. Rocky 4 is like goofy, but it's a fun time.
Is that grammatically correct? The only not good Rocky movie?
Yes.
And Creed has Rocky in it. It's just not called Rocky.
Right.
Okay. Because I think we saw that.
Rocky, because Rocky is the mentor of Apollo Creed's son.
Gotcha. All right.
And what's the actor's name? Is it Michael Jordan?
Michael B. Jordan.
Michael B. Jordan, not to be confused with Michael the Jordan.
Right.
All right, that's it for the program today. What do we have scheduled for tomorrow?
Tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock, we have 3 representatives of the Ross County Fair Board that will be in talking about something that had already come out in the news. You can go back on our website at leonardmedia.com and find this. When they announced about a year or so ago that they want to try to build an event center on the Ross County Fairgrounds. Well, they're still trying to get the money together to do that, and that's what our visitors will be here at 10 tomorrow morning. We'll be here to talk about.
And at 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, we'll learn more about the events going on at the Majestic Theater with Lori Graves will be stopping by tomorrow at 3 p.m. All right. So that's what our plan is for tomorrow until something else comes up. Right. We may add something. You never know. Keep your eye on Litter Media through littermedia.com, through our social medias, through Spotify. You'll be able to hear this program or no?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. And anything else we do, it's all Litter Media. And you know that it's beneficial news you can use. And it's all the good stuff around the Scioto Valley. So for Mike Smith, for Mr. Hand 2, I'm Dan Ramey. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday.